Hello and welcome along to AVFTS Wrexham. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. This is my match reaction to Wrexham 3, Hull City 3, but 5-3 on penalties in the Carabao Cup. I'm sat here with a smile. I'm sat here with disbelief. Football, in a nutshell, is the craziest, most unpredictable sport known to mankind. I don't care what anyone else says, because yesterday night proved it. It was pure Hollywood. To go from losing in the opening game of the Championship against Southampton in stoppage time and thinking, God, football is cruel, to literally living in the moment of last night and winning and bringing ourselves back into the time through to the second round of the Carabao Cup in stoppage time. Cyclical world, unbelievable, but it's Hollywood. The headlines, of course, are all about Ollie Palmer. 2 goals in the space of 70 seconds. You couldn't script it. The forgotten man, the man who everyone thought, well, he's obviously off to AFC Wimbledon or MK Dons or somewhere else, dropping down the division. No. Ollie Palmer wants to remind Phil Parkinson and the Wrexham faithful but he's not quite done yet. And those celebrations meant a lot to him as well. But before we break down the game, make sure you're smashing the like button on this video for that Wrexham win. Let's go for 100 likes. I'm going to challenge you 100 likes to celebrate the Wrexham win. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and get in the comment section your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions around Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. Madness of a Carabao Cup time. Madness. So let's just get into it. Let's get right into this one. First and foremost, then, let's get into that starting lineup because I think that was where you sort of have a look and go, okay, what are we doing here? What is Phil Parkinson choosing? And you can see here that I'm going to show on the screen the starting lineup that was selected really was what I predicted in a preview. Rotation. Arthur comes back in goal. A whole new different back three who played against Southampton in James, Scar, and O'Connell. Then you've got Longman, who didn't start against Southampton. Evans, Lee, Ashfield also didn't feature. And McLean came off the bench with the new boy Hardy and Smith trying to get some minutes in the tank for them. Basically, in a nutshell, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new lineup. And of course, there was depth on that bench. But my point is this. This is showing how good Wrexham's squad depth is, that they can make those wholesale changes to be able to compete in cup and league, give people minutes, and still be competitive. And that for me was the first telling sign. That was a big indication. And let's not beat around the bush here as well. I just want to indicate to you as well, this whole City side for me as well as a team that should never actually go under the radar in terms of what personnel they have. Hull City come into yesterday's game with players with well established, the likes of Cody Drama, John Egan. In fact, they had Lundstrom, Casey Palmer, Joe Gelhardt, McBurney. I looked at that and thought, oh, yeah, this team's better than I thought. This team's actually better than I thought on paper. And I must say as well, you know, when I saw Ollie McBurney's name and John Lundstrom, I thought this could be an interesting tie. But really, it was all about a fitting tribute. And listen, just to pave one more piece of information that I thought that was really important was that forever Wrexham are showing, and this is so important about their history and remembering a legend, that they actually got to remember one of the greatest ever players, Sir Joey Jones, and there was that minute there at the ground. And again, Wrexham doing things good on and off the pitch, and I thought that was a very fitting thing. And it set up the rest of the evening ahead. No way could Wrexham not progress after doing a fitting tribute to Sir Jerry Jones. So, where is it at? Well, the first half was a cagey one, and then it took a bit of luck. It took an Elliot Lee deflected goal, but the build-up play for that goal was brilliant. And it looped over into the goal, and Elliot Lee, again, a player whose career at Wrexham, no one knows where it's going. Where is Elliot Lee? Is he going to be someone who's forcing himself into that championship squad? Is he going to be able to find a start, or is he going to be in the backdrop? Well, he got on the score sheet. Massive for him. But no surprise, one man had to have a say. Ollie McBurney. If there was anything that was going to happen in that game, it was that Ollie McBurney was going to score. Someone who worked under Phil Parkinson at Bradford City, someone who was an ex-Swansea player, and someone who was just going to pop up with that goal. And of course, he did very quickly. after Elliott's league goal. Going in level at the break, you think, okay, let's see how the second half unfolds. Can Wrexham find that key goal and maybe go on and win the game 2-1? That's what I was sort of thinking in my head. Go on and win the game 2-1. But no, unfortunately, it didn't go that way. And Hull came into their own. I thought they actually played some really good football in that second half. And their goal probably came deserved. And of course, what happened then is a reaction that's always needed. And that is from Phil Parkinson. And it's about making those changes at the right time. And I think this did change the tide again. This was where the tide changed in terms of these substitutes here. Parky didn't mess around. Windass, Marriott, Palmer, and Barnett. Three really attacking-minded players in Windass, Marriott, and Palmer. And then Barney's going to offer that width. And they came on for Ashfield, Longman, Smith, and Hardy. Of course, Smith and Hardy, those boys there in particular, again, another game, two new strikers not scoring, something that we're going to have a look at soon. And then, of course, Harry Ashfield, Academy product, and Ryan Longman swapping for Barney. That was a massive change for me. 4 subs to say, hey, we need to get a bit more attacking flair in there. We need Windass. We need Marriott. And then the big man, Ollie Palmer. And, of course, we're going to get onto the Ollie Palmer situation. But big shout out to Harry Ashfield. The fact that he, again, was in that starting night. He was there. He got minutes under his belt and broke into that sort of Wrexham Carabao Cup side. And maybe him and James are going to be players that actually will probably feature in his cups. But yeah, just quickly to add to that, Hardy and Smith, you can either look at last night's game as, look, they got more minutes under their belt. The goals will start coming soon. Or is it a cause for concern? Are people worried that we're not going to get the output that we need from those two? But anyway, as that happened and time went on, it almost felt like this tide got away. The changes were pushing, the changes were trying to throw stuff at it. And yeah, it was frustrating. And what killed it for me was that third goal. 81 minutes, you knew it was game over. You knew that tap in at the back post around the 81st minute mark was just enough to make you you know that the game was done. And if you actually go on social media, look how early people, and this is what I love about, you should never comment till the final whistle's done. You got someone saying you've just been McBurneyed and commenting and posting that. This is, by the way, on that Disney FC, 2 losses on the bounce. Welcome to the Championship. Stick that in your effing documentary. Oh, we will. Oh, we will. And this was, as of course, on the post here when Wrexham scored on 3-1. I thought I had to get that up and show you guys that as well. The way in which fans commented so quickly, rival fans. You need to realise Wrexham live rent-free in a lot of fan bases. And that, for me, is, again, why I've got a smile here. Because we know from the weekend the game's not over till the 90th, to the final whistle. But this was when you thought, yeah, there's no chance now. 3-1 down. What are we doing here? We've absolutely blown this. This is crazy. And the 4th official then tried to feed a little bit of hope. And the 4th official put up 8 minutes of stoppage time. And again, really, I was sat there going, nah, no chance. But then, when there's hope, when there's a chance, you know that something could happen. And on that 91st minute, when Palmer's powerful header in that bottom corner went in, 3-2, Ollie Palmer on the score sheet, having a say, well, what's happening here? What's happening here? 7 minutes to go. Hull on the ropes. Things can happen. And that was certainly that. Momentum had shifted. Momentum felt absolutely in Wrexham's favour. And then the ball for Ollie Palmer, by the way, absolutely outstanding ball into Ollie Palmer. Unbelievable ball. Hangs it up for him. Bosh! Gets up above the defender, loops it into that far corner. Ollie Palmer makes it 3-3, and the celebration and the Wrexham crowd were erupted. And I thought, do you know what? That's class. That's absolutely class. What a Hollywood moment. We will put that in our documentary. We will air that. And the best thing about it is it then needed a penalty shootout to seal it. And Marriott, again, another name who's probably in the abyss, probably out in the pecking order, gets to slot that winning penalty. And I just saw that as a really jubilant, really strong Wrexham team. Really strong. All 5 penalties go in. Of course, it was all about this man, Ollie Palmer. Of course, he's going to take a lot of the headlines and plaudits, and rightly so, because you can't write that story. You can't write the story that he had. But for me, it's a team performance. It was all about this, coming together as one and realising that they can achieve things this season if they stick together. And a lot of these players, dare I say it, they are the cast outs of Phil Parkinson's side. They are the players that have been told, you know what, you're not even making my championship squad, some of you. You're not even making the bench for the championship. And some of them, like Evans and Lee, didn't even get on the pitch. Didn't even get on the pitch against Southampton. Quick to prove. And that's what you need in this Wrexham squad. Fierce competition. As I said, a little bit concerned with Smith and Hardy, not going to lie. That's one of the takeaway points again. Strikers blanking in that sense. But the squad depth, the camaraderie, the fight, the passion, the spirit, and Wrexham being a fortress at home is going to be what keeps Wrexham alive this season. I would love to know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions around all this. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe, like the channel. I'm out of here. Ta-da.